I'm now joined by Irish international hockey player Katie Mullen. Katie, it's great to have you on the show.
Thanks so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. I love the work you do, so it's fantastic.
Thanks very much. You're currently in the middle of playing the Softco series with Japan. So you have a 4-match series. You've had 1 win and 1 loss. So tell us about the competition so far.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to get to play a team of the quality of Japan so close to a World Cup. It's such a great opportunity for us. We're building really well. I suppose these games for us is very important. They're all about performance and making sure that we're ready for the World Cup now at the beginning of July. So it's the last few tactical things that we need to work on in these games. And I suppose the results don't matter as much, but it's always nice to get a win as well, which was the case on Sunday. So yeah, we're in a good place.
Yeah, they've been 2 tight games with 1-0 and 2-0. So that's certainly a good thing. And in terms of playing a side like Japan, so they're currently ranked 10th in the world. Like, how valuable is that?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I suppose you always want to, going into a major tournament, you always want to play teams that are better than you or ranked better than you, and that are going to challenge you. And Japan are definitely doing that. For us now, I suppose the biggest thing is that Japan play a really fast, fiery style of hockey, and it's quite different to the European style, which tees up very nicely for our group game against Chile. So I suppose playing Japan gives us that little bit of difference from the European style hockey that we're maybe more used to.
In terms of the upcoming World Cup, so you were involved in the silver medal in the last edition. So what has the journey been like since then?
So yeah, it's been mad. I suppose the turnaround after the World Cup was quite quick to set us up for qualifying for our first ever Olympic Games. So we qualified for that at the end of January, or at the end of 2019. And then of course COVID hit, and there was kind of a sporadic turn of events in terms of how much we together and how much hockey we were doing. So coming off the back of then the delayed Olympics, our turnaround time has been really quick. And it's not something that you would normally experience, where you would play 2 majors in consecutive years. So for us, it's been about, we had 6 retirements last year after the Olympics. So it's been a tight turnaround for introducing new players, some under 21s, under 23s, and getting them up to speed to prepare them for a major tournament. So it's all been happening very, very quickly. We were blessed that the under 21s had a World Cup in the summer as well. So a couple of months ago. So it meant that those girls were prepared for tournament hockey, and they kind of their fitness levels were brilliant, and they've transitioned really well into our program now from off the back of that Junior World Cup.
Yeah, I was going to ask about obviously there's the number of retirements and who to watch. So who has come up onto the team that you think will definitely come into their own over the World Cup and as they kind of progress through senior, as there's now 6 people that have hung up their hockey sticks at the moment?
Yeah, I suppose, well, I think you'll see a lot more from the players that were our young players last year going to the Olympics. So the likes of Zara Malseed and Michelle Carey, who have the experience of an Olympic Games but are still young and maybe don't have as many international caps. So I think that you'll see them really step up. And then in terms of new fresh faces, we have the likes of Quiva Purdue. She's a good Tipperary woman, comes off a camogie pitch or GA pitch, and she's a real hunter and fighter in the midfield. So I think she's definitely one to watch. And then Christina Hamill as well would be another one to mention. It's been such a privilege for me at training to see these girls really come into their own and really flourish. And I'm the one that gets to see it week in, week out in Abbottstown, but I can't wait now for them to go out on the world stage and show everyone what they've got. So yeah, it's very exciting for us.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, something that everyone will be excited for. And I think there's been a lot more support and recognition of the team, since the silver at the World Cup. Definitely people were tuning in to watch you at the Olympic Games. So it's great to see that you're getting the recognition that's deserved. In terms of the group, it's certainly a tough group for the World Cup. So you have Chile, Germany, and the Netherlands. Obviously, the Netherlands are ranked number 1, a very good outfit out there. We have Germany in 8th, Ireland in 12th, and then you have Chile in 18th. So it's all very tight. How do you make the preparations for competing in that group and aiming to get out of it?
Yes, so there's a lot going on in our group, I suppose. It's fantastic, first of all, that we are playing the hosts in the opening game of a World Cup. I think that will be an amazing spectacle, and for us, you know, we would rather play the Dutch in their first game. The pressure, all the eyes, everything will be on them, so we'll have that Irish underdog mentality, which is a great place to be. We also hadn't played them a lot prior to the World Cup final in 2018, and now we've played them a few times since, with them being in our group at the Olympics and us playing them at the Europeans. So we have had that experience now of them, and we will, I suppose, we will build on those experiences going into that first game. For us, it's about starting the tournament strong, and focusing on our performance in that game to take us into the next game against Chile, which is a real target game for us. I suppose you look at Chile, and it's very similar to the position we were in 4 years ago. They're kind of ranked higher than us. They haven't had the same experience of major tournaments, so they will have that kind of mentality that we did the last time round, and we need to be conscious of that, and make sure that that we do our homework on them and they don't catch us by surprise. And then the third game, Germany, again, a team that we've had plenty of battles against in the last little while, and I suppose we know them very well, so that's something that we're discussing a lot in camp in terms of how we can exploit them and get something out of that game too. So like all tournaments, it's a tight turnaround time. You can't dwell on anything. You got to get control of your emotions pretty quickly after each performance in order to prepare best for the next one. So yeah, you learn how to play out these tournaments and how to deal with all of that, and that's something that we've talked about a lot, and we're looking to take now into the tournament.
For anybody that's listening that maybe isn't familiar with hockey or the World Cup format, can you give us a bit of a talk through how you aim to progress through the competition?
Yeah, so the World Cup in hockey is 4 groups of 4. The top of each group go straight through to quarterfinals, and then second and third in each group they play in a crossover. The interesting thing about this World Cup is that it's split over 2 host countries. So Holland are hosting 2 groups, and then Spain are hosting 2 groups. So we're in Holland in Amsterdam, the home of hockey, which is exciting, and they have a brand new stadium and everything, which is fantastic. We're really looking forward to experiencing that. And then so once they go through past the quarterfinal stages, then the semi-finals and finals will all take place in Spain. We play our first game on the Saturday evening, which is a sellout game. It was one of the first games to sell out in the tournament, which will be amazing. And then we have Sunday, Monday to recover, and then we play our second and third group game on Tuesday and Wednesday. So the tight turnaround time there means that we have to recover really well to be prepared to play 2 games in a short space of time, and that's kind of how hockey goes. It's very unique in that way that you play a lot of games in a short space of time.
Aisha McFerrin is playing over in the Netherlands. Is she able to give any inside scoop?
Well, no, we won't leak any secrets that we've maybe got on the inside, but yeah, it's a huge advantage. Aisha plays against those girls week in, week out at club, and she can provide a real good insight into them as players, but also the psyche of the Dutch team. And I suppose that often only spurs us on and gives us an extra fire in our belly. So it's fantastic. She's a great asset to have, obviously on the pitch, but also off the pitch in terms of what she brings with regards to her insight of the Dutch team.
And I know we had a retirement in Nikki Daly, but I was talking to her at the weekend, and she was saying that, you know, as a team, the attitude has been to make it very difficult to beat you. So is that the strategy going into this World Cup?
Yeah, I think, you know, if you look at most sports across Ireland, the Irish mentality is that you're hard to beat, and you're tough, dogged defenders, and you might only get, you know, a few chances in a game, but you'll defend a hell of a lot more. And I suppose that's something that we definitely pride ourselves in, is our defense and our grit. And that's something that we've been sort of working on a lot with the new group as well. So that'll be a big thing for us at the World Cup, is being hard to beat, because I think it really suits our character as people and as Irish people, and that's where you see us flourish. So yeah, no, it's a huge pride thing for us.
Absolutely. I've one last question for you. In terms of, you mentioned that the European hockey can be quite similar, and then you know, that you're learning from the Japanese. So how different are the styles across the world?
Yeah, very different. So the Asian style is very quick, two-touch style hockey. The Dutch and German style in Europe is a lot more structured. So the game, sometimes you pick your moments to when to slow down the game, when to speed it up, and you're looking to control phases a little bit more.
That falls in line with their stereotype, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah. And then the Australasian, so New Zealand, Australia, they play a lot more of a running game. So they would pride themselves in their aerobic fitness, and they look to carry the ball a lot more over distance, and look to play more of a running game. So it does vary a lot, but I suppose that's the exciting part about hockey, is that when you go to the likes of a World Cup or an Olympic Games, you bring all those styles together and into play. And we are, unfortunately, aren't part of the Pro League, so we don't get to play those different styles as often. So I suppose being in a group at the World Cup with two other European teams, we really hope to progress out of our group and maybe get to play some of those other styles as well. So but yeah, no, it's exciting, and we're really looking forward to it. And of course the World Cup plays a very close role in many of our hearts, given what happened in 2018. And this is a new group, a new journey, but we hope to write our own chapter now, and I've no doubt that we can, with the ability that we have in the team.
Yeah, look, it certainly sounds like you have been exposed very well over the past couple of years to some of these teams, playing the top teams in Europe, getting exposure to the different styles, whether it's Japan, and I know you faced India in the Olympics as well. We'll certainly be looking forward to tuning in for the World Cup, but best of luck again in the other two games against Japan and in the World Cup, if we're not chatting to you before then. Thanks so much for taking the time, Katie.
Thank you, appreciate it.